Okay, here we go. We're getting started with our IXL practice. You want to have your calculator, you want to have some scratch paper, you want to have a pen or a pencil. And when you go into the classroom, you should see something. Let's see here. You're going to see a link that looks something like this, and you're going to click on that, and it's going to bring you right to your IXL account. And it's going to bring you to R.4 Pythagorean theorem word problems. And the goal here is to work for 20 to 25 active minutes or get to a score of 75. And you're going to read this problem. Darren is admiring a statue in Silver Grove Park. The statue is 12 meters taller than he is, and Darren is 16 meters away. How far is it from the top of the statue to Darren's head? Okay, so it's 12 meters tall and 16 meters away. How far from the top of the statue to Darren's head? All right, I'm going to go back here, and let's see. So it's 12 meters, and he's 16 meters away, and 12 meters tall. And we're trying to find the distance between the top of his head and the statue. So the formula, again, is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right. And so we're going to do 12 squared plus 16 squared equals c squared. And we'll just type that into our calculators. 12 up 2 equals plus 16 up 2 equals. Now we're finding the square root. Second x squared 400 equals, so 20. So it's going to be 20 in between there, okay? If this is 144, and this is 16 times 16 is 256, and that equals c squared, then 400 equals c squared, and 20 equals c. So I'm going to go back. Over. Let's see. Let's go back here. And let's go 20 meters. Okay, and that's the first one. Now on the second one, I'm just going to take a little screenshot of this. And this screenshot's going to be like your scratch paper. Come on, go one note. Let's see here. Okay. And we're just drawing these all out. Okay, we're going to look at these word problems, find the information we need. Whenever he visits Somerville, Brody has to drive 15 kilometers due north from home. All right, I'm going to draw a little compass here. I'm going to do a little north-south. North, south, east, west. Okay, he has to drive 15 kilometers due north from home. So 15. So this is home. 15 due north from home. Whenever he visits Bloomington, he has to drive 8 kilometers east from home. So that's going to be 8 kilometers east. And this is going to be 15 kilometers north. How far apart are Somerville and Bloomington? Let's see, he visits Somerville. So this is Somerville and this is Bloomington. And I'm trying to find the distance between Somerville and Bloomington. Trying to find the distance between those 2 points. Okay, so I'm trying to find C. So I know that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And I'm going to say 8 squared plus 15 squared equals C squared. And so that's 64 plus 225 equals C squared. So it's 289, and I'm going to take the square root of that, and I'm going to take the square root of C squared, and I find that 17 is equal to C. The hypotenuse is the long side. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to do 17, enter. All right. Now we have 2 cars leaving the same parking lot with one heading north and the other heading east. So I'm going to do this one on my scratch paper. I'm going to go, one's going north and one's going east. After several minutes, the eastbound cars traveled 3 miles. If the 2 cars are now a straight line distance of 5 miles apart, how far has the northbound car traveled? So that's going to be a leg. My hypotenuse is 5. Let's see here. I'm going to go back to this right here. So this is my new drawing. I've got this northbound car. I don't know how far it's gone. I've got an eastbound car. It's gone 3 miles. And there's 5 miles in between. The straight line distance is 5. So I know that 3 squared plus b squared equals 5 squared. So I already know this is going to be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. I can tell just by looking at it because 9 plus b squared is equal to 25. I subtract 9 from both sides. And I find that b squared equals 16. And if I take the square root of both sides, I find that b equals 4. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. See if this works. I'm going to put a 4 in here. And I'm going to submit. Okay. Now, the floor of a storage unit is 9 feet long and 12 feet wide. What is the distance between the 2 opposite corners? Okay, so I'll just draw that one out again on your scratch paper. Let's see, it's 9 feet by 12 feet. And I want to know the distance in between opposite corners. So I can, let's see here, I'm going to go back to this camera. I'm going to go back here. Let's see, I've got a 9 by 12, and I want the diagonal. I want C, right? There's my right angle. And so I have 9 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. Okay, if I do 9 squared, that's 81 plus 144 is 225, and I know that's a perfect square. I know the square root of 225. Let's see. Second, x squared 225 equals 15. So 15 equals C if I take the square root of both sides there. Okay, so we're going to go back here. We're going to put 15 in there. Jefferson is teaching a fifth grade class. You guys are going to have different problems here. They're not going to be exactly the same, right? Just a little bit different. But this is how you want to do it. Make a drawing. Okay, Mrs. Jefferson is teaching a fifth grade class. She's 8 meters in front of Jenna. Okay, so Mrs. J is 8 meters. 8 meters in front of Jenna. So there's Jenna. Nathan is sitting 6 meters to Jenna's right. So over here is 6 meters, and this is Nathan. Okay, how far apart are Mrs. Jefferson and Nathan? So I want to know, what is this length right here? That's my right angle. Okay, so I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I have 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. So I have 36 plus 64, so I have 100 is equal to c squared. And if I take the square root, I find that 10 equals c. Okay, so again, this is another one of those 3, 4, 5 triangles, right? If we set up some ratios, we can figure that out. But we're going to put a 10 right in there. We're going to go for it. Okay. Now, Mrs. Wong is teaching a fifth grade class. She's standing 3 meters in front of Tatsu. Wilson is 4 meters to Tatsu's right. How far apart are Mrs. Wong and Mrs. Wilson? So if I have 3 meters and 4 meters as the 2 legs, and I'm trying to find the hypotenuse, I know it's going to be 5. I'm just going to type that in. Okay. 3 baseball players are playing catch. Sydney is directly south of Lucy and directly west of Irene. Sydney and Irene are 15 feet apart. Irene and Lucy are 25 feet apart. How far apart are Sydney and Lucy? I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to draw it out. Three baseball players. Sydney is due south of Lucy. So Lucy and Sydney. Sydney is directly south of Lucy and directly west of Irene. Let's see. North, south, east, west. Just drawing this out. Let's see. Directly west of Irene. Sydney is west of Irene. Okay. Sydney and Irene are 15 feet apart. So this is 15. Irene and Lucy. Oh, this one right here is 25 feet. So that's going to be my hypotenuse. All right, here's my right angle. So I'm missing one of my legs. I'm missing b. So 15 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared. So that's going to be 225 plus b squared equals 625. Use your calculators. Type this in. Double check my work if you have the same problems I do. Negative 225. And so b squared equals 400. That means b equals 20. Because the square root of 400 is 20. And that makes sense. The legs should be shorter than the hypotenuse. Let's see, so let's put a 20 in there. All right, we're up to 55. Now an envelope measuring 12 by 35. Pencil is placed in the envelope at a diagonal. What is the maximum possible length of the pencil? Just going to kind of screenshot this again, do the same thing. I'm going to make a drawing. Okay, I'm going to try, let's see if I can do ink to shape. Let's do 12 cm by 35 cm. And I have a pencil placed at a diagonal. Alright, let's do this. Let's see here. Pencils at a diagonal. Diagonal's corner to corner, right? Let's see if I can get this right in there. Doesn't need to be perfect. So that's going to be my C. So I'm looking for 12 squared plus 35 squared equals C squared. Well, I know that right triangles are basically a 3, 4, 5 ratio. I'm sorry. Let's work this out here. So 12 squared is 144. And 35 squared is 1,225. And the square root of 1,369 is 37. So C is equal to 37. Let's see, 1,369 minus 144 equals 1,225. 69 equals C squared. Take the square root, and you find that 37 is equal to C. So we're going to go back in there, and we're going to try 37. And we've got another problem here. It says a rake is leaning against the wall. The top of the rake hits the wall 80 inches above the ground. The bottom of the rake is 12 inches away from the wall. How long is the rake? So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna try down here. Let's see. So I have, let me go back, 80 inches above the ground and 18 inches away from the wall. So 80 inches above the ground and 18 inches from the wall. Now let's look at this one more time. How long is the rake? Let's see how long this rake is. So that would be the rake right there, or C. So we want 18 squared plus 80 squared equals C squared. So the hypotenuse is opposite of that right angle. So let's see here. $18 up to equals plus 80 to the second power equals, and then take the square root of 6,724, and that's 82. So C equals 82. Let's try that out. Alright, running from the top of a flagpole to a hook in the ground. Top of a flagpole to a hook in the ground, there's a rope that is 75 feet long. Okay, so I've got a flagpole. We've got a 75-foot rope. If the hook is 20 1 feet from the base of the flagpole, 21 feet from the base of the flagpole. How tall is the flagpole? B equals the flagpole. So I'm trying to find 21 squared plus b squared equals 75 squared. Alright, so I've got a little drawing. I'm going to try and get that up. Let's see here. Alright, so there's my drawing right there. 75-foot rope, 21 feet away from the bottom. So I'm going to do 21 times 21, or 21 squared. That's 441. So 441 plus b squared equals 75 up to is 5,625. 5,625. So I'm going to subtract that 441 from both sides. And I find, let's see, minus 441, 5,184. Second root, 5,184 is 72. So 5,184 equals b squared, and b equals 72. So the flagpole is 72 feet tall. Let's go back in here and try that out. 72 feet. So, we are at 68. We're going to do one more. Terrell is building a sling for his kids. Oh, slide for his kids. The ladder is 9 feet tall, and the slide is 10 feet long. So the ladder is 9 feet, and the slide is 10 feet. What is the distance between the ladder and the bottom of the slide? So I'm trying to find one of my legs. I'm trying to find A. So A squared plus 9 squared equals 10 squared. And then it says round to the nearest tenth. All right, I'm going to go back here. All right, so here's my ladder, 9 feet. Here's my slide, 10 feet. And I'm trying to find the distance between the bottom of the slide and the bottom of the ladder. Okay, that's one of the legs. A squared plus 9 squared equals 10 squared. So A squared plus 81 equals 100. And so I know that A squared equals 19. So I need to find the square root of 19. So let's see here. Clear that. Second, x squared 19. 4.358. It says round to the nearest tenth at 5. And the hundredths place tells me to go up with the 3. So I'm going to do 4.4. We're going to see if we get this here. 4.4 feet. Submit. Alright. A gopher has dug holes in opposite corners of a rectangular yard. I'm gonna take a little snippet of this, see how this works. Kind of going back and forth, trying some different strategies out here, but always doing some drawings to visualize what's going on. Okay, opposite corners of a rectangular yard. I'm going to draw a rectangular yard. One length of the yard is 7 meters, and the distance between the holes is 10 meters. All right, so I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna call this, let's see, the gopher dug holes in opposite corners. That's pretty important. So the holes are here and here. One length of the yard is 7 meters, so 7 meters. And the distance between the holes is 10 meters. Okay, this is my right angle. 0, so my hypotenuse is 10, so I'm looking at 7 squared, and that's b, plus, let's stop this ink to shape, plus b squared equals 10 squared. So we're looking at 49 plus b squared equals 100, and we subtract 49 on both sides, and we're left with 51 equals b squared, and we take the square root of both of those. And the square root of 51 is approximately 7.14 or 7.1. So let's go back here. Let's try 7.1. And we're at 75, and that took 25 minutes, showing all of our work, working through all the problems, and drawing them all out. Okay, please spend some time working on that. Use the video as much as you need to. Thanks for being here.